Fox 35 Storm Team is tracking the tropics. Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist T.J. Springer here in the Storm Center with an update. All things tropical. We do have subtropical storm Patty with our latest advisory at 10 a.m. The wind sustained at 45 miles per hour. It's moving east at 16 and eventually will bring some impacts to portions of Portugal and Spain, likely weakening to a depression as we head through the first half of this upcoming week, really the northwestern reaches of Portugal and Spain. So if you have any friends out there, family, or maybe you're going on a trip out there, you'll want to monitor this forecast closely, but no impact to the United States, thankfully. But what will be is what is now a 90% chance of development Invest 97L right now, churning across the southwestern Caribbean, seeing those shades of whites and blacks. Those are the higher cloud tops, the more intense thunderstorms that are continuing to develop here as we have really warm ocean water and minimal wind shear. So we're likely going to see more organization as we progress through the remainder of today, possibly becoming a depression before the day winds to a close. A 90% chance of development now over the next 7 days per the National Hurricane Center. Just a 10% chance of formation now to the north and east of this wave of the Invest. And the way it looks now, this area of pressure could get ingested into the greater circulation in Invest 97L and potential Rafael as we step through the next couple of days. And eventually we could see some impacts here at home mid to late in this upcoming work week as this area of low pressure continues to lift to the north and east. Look at the ocean heat content. Hot right now, generally where this system is going to be moving over. But peep the Gulf. Much less fuel there, and that's also where we have more wind shear. So once this gets up close to Cuba, goes over Cuba, it should encounter more ingredients that would weaken it versus strengthen it. Although you can see kind of where the loop current is, so if it hangs over there a little longer, it could remain a little stronger before it does weaken. That's what we'll have to watch. It could become a low-end hurricane before it's all said and done, at least in terms of the tropical storm potential through Election Day and into early really the first half of the following week. In the late week, we're likely seeing Tropical Storm Rafael. There's a likelihood of that now, but once we get past Election Day in the late week, we really see chances diminish because it's moving into that less favorable environment with more hostile wind and cooler waters, all favoring a nice weakening trend versus the strengthening trend that we'll see now. The question is, where does it go once it hits the Gulf? We've seen greater consensus, more agreeable data now that pinpoints a potential strike along the Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama Gulf Coast, maybe even as far as the Florida Panhandle. Less chances of a strike across Central Florida or the Big Bend. We're going to have to monitor where that area of high pressure is because that's really steering potential Rafael. It's going to hug the southwestern periphery of that ridge of high pressure and then usher it pretty much due north-northwest as we progress through Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday. So we'll likely be on the eastern side of the storm, which is the dirtier side of the storm. So for us, that means scattered downpours and the potential for some tornadic activity, potentially. But at least the bottom line now, from what we can see, the environment is in a favorable mode for strengthening down across the Caribbean. We'll likely see a weakening trend as it moves into the Gulf as that ridge of high pressure steers Rafael just to the west of Florida, likely right now. That's what we're seeing. Now, Wednesday is an impact day because we're likely going to have the outer rain bands arriving across the Floridian Peninsula. The wind threat is going to be increasing, could have gusts up close to tropical storm force, not in tropical storm force potential. And then also those scattered tropical downpours. There could be amounts in the maybe 3 to 6 inch range across Central Florida. So that's what we're going to be monitoring. The flooding potential, I would say that's our bigger concern right now versus the wind or even the tornado threat. So make sure you keep checking back in with the storm team for the latest. Laurel will have the latest tonight on Fox News, Fox 35 News at 5 and Fox 35 News at 10. And then Jess and Brooks will be in on Good Day Orlando for all of the latest on Monday morning. Of course, we'll have the latest on fox35orlando.com as well as all of our social media accounts as well. Have a great rest of your Sunday and stay tuned.